Hey everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a just for the heck of it kind of video. I'm doing a challenge at the Secret Not Secret Kit Club party, and this challenge was started with a quiz, kind of like those magazine quizzes that delve into your personality traits and things like that. And this one was to determine what kind of camper you are. The theme is summer camp. And this was kind of to determine what your favorite kind of vacation is, in other words. And so, not as a surprise to me or anyone else, I came up with Tropical Paradise. So my challenge is to do a page with Tropical Paradise vibes. So that's right up my alley. And I have 3 recent kits from Secret Not Secret Kit Club. And one of them is based on Vicki Boutin's color study. And so I found this scrap, which I love. The other one's based on Coco Vanilla Studios Sunkissed, and that's this paper that I'm going to use. I'm fixing to coat it with some clear gesso, and it hurts my soul to use the other side of this because this is the most gorgeous paper, but I love this side. So I just actually sent a message to Christina asking if there's any way I can get like 500 of these. Let's see. I also have this, which is a mixed media card that I made in a live with Vicki Boutin. I don't know if I'm going to cut it apart, but those are tropical leaves with those flowers, and the colors are just kind of perfect for that paper, but it's kind of ugly. Some of the mixed media that I covered up with subsequent layers, kind of doesn't look great, so I don't know if I'm going to use that. The other kit, the third kit, is based on P13's Summer Vibes, and I fussy cut this from this 12 by 12 sheet of paper. It was over here, and I will fussy cut that. I'm not sure if I'm going to fussy cut those and put them in this, because they would show up nicely on that dark blue sky. Okay, and I've got just a strip of multicolor paper, or the nice blue on the other side, from my Vicki Boutin stash. I've got some Dottie About flares. There's a crab here, a geotag, and a birthday flare that's like sprinkles that are on ice cream. And the photo I'm using is of John on his 66th birthday in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. And let's see, I've got some other buttons. I've got these flares from Shimmers Paints. This came with the June Shimmers kit, my very first Shimmers ever, and I actually haven't been brave enough to use them yet. So, and I have a few pieces of ephemera and tags. I have a Happy Days title from Bramble Fox, and some tropical wood pieces from Redefined Creative that came with my kit. So with all this junk here, I'm going to begin this process I'm taking some, she said she wanted waves. She expected for a tropical thing, we're going to see waves in the sea. And I don't want to change the color of this paper, but I wouldn't mind if there was a suggestion or hint of waves. So I'm brushing on unevenly, as you'll see, and that's intentional, some clear gesso. And it's going to leave I'm doing this through a stencil that I got in the Creative Cuts Club, also from Christina. So I'm just going to do it from top to bottom and realizing that I'm going to cover some of it up. And I'm kind of brushing it both ways. I expect and want there to be brush marks visible. And I'm going to lift that up, and you'll see here, you can kind of see the areas that I did darkly. I kind of wish, yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm going to be covering some of that up. I'm going to leave you right now because I did not take the photo off the printer. So I'm going to leave you to, isn't this exciting in a video, to watch paint dry, or gesso as the case may be. I'll be right back. My printer's not too far away. Okay. Now I'm going to work on, while this dries, I'm going to work on the photo related stuff. I'm going to put this off to the side. I think I'm going to overlap some embellishments on the photo to I want to capture John's hands up in the air, but I know just the way he's sitting, this kind of is not particularly attractive, so I'm looking for a big hibiscus or something to kind of go there. The idea I had in mind was that I would put this all the way to the end of the page. Let's say that this 12 by 12 square is the end of the page, and that layered kind of just here from it would be this piece of paper. But I don't want to cover up that much of the background paper. So I'm going to cut a fairly small strip, keeping these kind of mixed media bits there. And now I've got another usable scrap to put in my Vicky Bouton stash. This is big enough to actually mat some stickers on or something, so I'm going to kind of slide it under my thing there. So let's see. This maybe could be cut shorter by about that much. Let's do that. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no particular plan other than I pulled these things together and thought they looked cute. So if I have this coming all the way to there, then the next thing I would want maybe is this, which could slide under there, and then the photo maybe, where's the pretty part of this? There isn't a pretty part, so maybe using it as kind of a wonky mat for my photo might be the best deal. And then I have to have something where this abruptly ends, or I layer the photo over it. How's that? And then somewhere along the line, I need to use this, maybe along the bottom. And then I can kind of futz around with some of this. This spray of flowers might be, if I put this here and then, or let's say this here and this, if I fussy cut that and overlay it, that just kind of looks too fake, doesn't it? How about we do the ice cream cone and the sprinkles flare. That kind of looks cute, like he might be holding it and celebrating his birthday. Okay, so that's okay, and I still have all of these things that I could play with. Let's see what's happening over here. It's definitely getting a texture about it, and you can see that the white has faded, but there's definitely a texture there. So I'll have to photograph that to emphasize it. Okay, I'm probably ready to place, to glue some of this together. Let me see. I need it to be here. That's good. And I really only want it glued along this edge, right? Okay, this is the edge that I want to show. So I really only want to glue it along this edge. Okay. I'm going to turn it this way because I can think better about it. Okay. So just a little bit of this showing, and now I'm going to mount this. I may want, how about a little bit of that kind of sticking up the top of here. Let me see where the hearts are the most visible. Okay, if I do it like that, you can see that heart. So let me get that. And then we talked about doing this, and I like that a lot. But let's see how the photo is gonna sit on here. There. And I'm gonna staple it here at the part that I'm gonna cover up. And also up here where it gets all three papers. And now, let me put this behind here, and this goes behind here, but Okay, what I want is for this stripe to bridge the gap here, but to be coming out from under the blue flowered paper. So this goes like this, I think, and then that'll go under. So let me do a strip of glue, that wasn't smart, down here. Let me see how I want the photo to be straight, parallel with the background paper there. And then I want this parallel with the photo, so it's also going to be straight, which means there's going to be more of it showing certain areas. Okay, let's do it this way. Want it as far as I can get it out into the field. Let me get that. I'm going to make sure this is lined up on an edge, and then this will be lined up. Come on. Lined up on a row of dots, and then I'll press that down. Okay, I think I've got it, and I can do an embellishment there, maybe a leaf cluster, buttons, or, you know, I've got a variety of things that I can work with. So I think this guy is dry, and I can lay this down. How does that look? Did that accomplish what I wanted? It's going to have to do, that's the story I'm sticking with. And I'm not putting this on foam because everything kind of relies on the fussy cut part, the tropical scene here, being flat. So this needs glue all the way along it. And I've just pulled it out from where it needed to be. Okay, I'm going to go with liquid glue then in that case. I'm going to put this, and I'm making this more complicated than it needs to be, but I kind of have a certain idea in mind, and I don't want to let go of that. So let me kind of get a little bead of glue along here and press that down. I'm gonna kind of burnish it into the paper. Okay. I've got it. Now let's start decorating it up. I really like that, and I like it right here at the transition between the green and the blue. It's a good color match, but it's a shade that still shows up. Okay, let's do these. I'm gonna kill these guys. I'm gonna make kind of a little cluster here with maybe I'm gonna fussy cut that tropical spray there. I'm gonna, yeah, let's cut it all the way. This is such a beautiful collection. I love the images and the colors, even though it's much more pastel than my usual preference. Because it has punches of deeper colors, you can kind of use it in conjunction with brighter colored collections like I'm doing here with the Vicki Boutin Color Study and the CVS Sunkissed. I'm just kind of giving it some jagged edges to make it look like it has that kind of tropical feel. And I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna push this up a bit and do this like that. Okay, that gives me my placement, so I can get those there. And yes, the tropical leaves are gonna overlap that the surfboard. Okay, this needs to be on a pop dot. Okay, now, what did we decide we were gonna do? We were gonna go with this ice cream cone and this guy. I'm really liking the texture that gesso gave this kind of through the stencil. I'm liking that a lot. Do I want to have a tropical leaf as part of this vignette, or maybe a pink flower hanging off there? I think that's what I'll go with. Okay, so I'm going to put the flare on first. And then I'm going to prop the ice cream up on foam in a way that it is supported and can kind of overlap that. So kind of do it like where that's the part, this is the part that needs to be supported by the foam. Okay, so that works. And this little pink flower is just gonna go maybe right there at the juncture between those two. Okay, now I want to use this red flower somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where. And I have these cute little wood buttons. And I've got this blue flower on a green button. Okay, those are not there. I've got a little bit of glue showing here, which I would like to take away. My tweezers are really better at this, even though it's not good for the tweezers to get glue on them. This will dry clear and flat, as I've said many times. It seems like I have to say that in every video because I'm kind of not judicious in my use of glue always. Okay, so maybe just kind of right here, or maybe here. It actually kind of looks like it's part of okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to peel that. I want it flatter than this pop dot allows it to be. So I'm going to peel the pop dot off. I tried that a while ago and it wasn't easy, so I gave up and figured I could live with it. Come on. There's glue back there that I really don't want to get on the front of the button. So I'm going to put the glue all around and kind of stick it right there. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to use that or where. I've got another, the crab is cute and appropriate, but the design is just a little bit not in keeping with the rest of what's going on. So I'm gonna kind of I'll put the geotag there underneath the palm leaves and let them kind of wave around it. I'm not going to use the crab this time. Let's see, what else do I have? I have these buttons, and I thought I'd pick 2 of those. Here's one that is it's a starfish. And then there's this one that says chill out, but it's the same size as these 2. So I think I'm going to go for the little blue heart. Nope, that's blue. I could go for the little yellow. All right, let's go with the multicolor fun. There we go. Okay, I think I'm nearing the end of what I want to do with this. I have birthday elements. I need to tell the story of the birthday, so maybe a pull-out tag that's just inserted there, and let me do one of Christina's tricks for making a kind of a ribbon. Cut that, and I'm gonna, let's do this, and I can cut it smaller later. I'll staple this on here. And that brings this print in 2 places, which is good to have. Okay, one more staple in place, and then I'm going to kind of cut that down like that and like that. And I will write my journaling on here, but in the meantime I'll kind of let it just stick up like that. I have this, which I did not use. I could do this, and then I could find a phrase. Let's do that. Alive, because yes. I could say party. That's a good, considering his, you know, the celebration and his expression, kind of holding his hands out like that. It kind of says party, right? So I'm gonna put this on foam, stick it on here like this is pointing to the party. I'm gonna prop this up on 2 pieces of foam so it doesn't encroach, it doesn't hinder being able to pull that up. Okay, it's way out there. It's not doing anything. And this still comes out. It actually kind of makes a nice, and these are those same kind of palm trees. This is a cherry on top of, let me see if there's any place that I want to put that. I'm afraid I'll lose it if I don't use it. It doesn't seem to go with anything, but you know what? Some designer or artist thought it did, and who am I to argue, right? It's like 2 puffs of different color whipped cream with a cherry on top. And so I'm gonna kind of do that and make it part of the pullout. Okay, so that's done. My my Party in Paradise page is finished, and we should be 20 minutes into the team challenge, so I need to go catch up with that so I don't fall behind for my team. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time I decide to make a crazy video. Oh yeah, you can see on camera, you can see the texture that clear gesso added. So hopefully that'll show in the photograph I take of it. Thanks for watching. Bye.